I wondered at Rangers' choice of substitutes. Now I know because Paul Rideout can play at the defence as well as we've seen him, so he can have a go at the back. And that's perhaps why he was Walter opted for him rather than Hoostra.
They're long there by Kirkwood. There's Owen Coyle trying to find Lawrence with a header. Brown turns it back. Well, his own courage and determination, maybe foolhardy. Walter Smith has appeared now on the bench, and I think he may be making a decision for John Brown. Brown, a determined character who certainly lacks nothing in terms of courage, and he will want to remain in the field in this cup final, that's for sure, but I don't think the Rangers management will permit that. He's limping heavily, Brown. Paul Rideout has been warming up, and Walter Smith has clearly come down to assess the position from trackside. Here's David Robertson, a stumble by Kirkwood. Robertson plays it in low. Hafley! Rangers take the lead. Right on the half-hour mark. A very unfortunate slip by Davy Kirkwood in a vital moment, allowing David Robertson to set up Hafley for his goal number 23 of the season. Well, you'll see here, Davy Kirkwood was with David Robertson, and he slipped as the ball was in the air. He couldn't make a challenge. Robertson had time to pick out an accurate ball inside, and Hafley took the chance brilliantly.
It's a marvellous pass here, and Kirkwood, it's a bad opportunity for him to slip in that case, but look at the space that Mark Hateley had. You know, if you're marking, Gus Caesar must look at that and wonder where he got to, because he's allowed a very dangerous centre forward loose inside the box, and he's paid the full penalty.
Yes, Hafley running off Gus Caesar, who had performed so well in the early stages of the match, but Hafley isn't likely to miss a chance like that, and the pressure suddenly eases in the Rangers ranks. And indeed now it sets Airdrie a very serious problem. The feeling always was that if Rangers could score reasonably early in the match, Airdrie would have a very tough struggle, and that's the way it's proved. It's the fifth match between the clubs this season, and Rangers have won comfortably on 3 occasions without conceding a goal, and then there was one 0-0 draw at Broomfield when Oleg Kuznetsov was ordered off in January. But Rangers now will be thinking, I've no doubt, in terms of a second before half-time, because that surely would have the effect of settling the match. So John Brown still on the field. Ironic that Rangers should score at a time when there was so much anxiety about Brown's fitness. That's where all the attention was drawn from the Rangers bench at the time. But he must have some sympathy for the former Rangers player Davy Kirkwood, who was denied the chance of challenging David Robertson by a very unfortunate slip. First time Robertson has been in a good open wide position in attack for Rangers in the match, and it's produced the opening goal. David Robertson already has a cup winners' medal 2 years ago for Aberdeen against Celtic. So Goff sending it along, looking for Hafley. This time Caesar wasn't close enough to Hafley once again. Mikhalichenko. That's good running by Mikhalichenko, and a good effort. Well taken by Martin, who kept his body behind the shot, but Mikhalichenko showing his skill and expertise here, running off Chris Honor on his right foot.
Yes, once again, Mikhalichenko gets in a good shot here, straight at the goalkeeper certainly, but a good powerful shot nevertheless. Interesting point, whatever anxiety Rangers might have had early on has disappeared. That goal has worked wonders for them. They're a yard quicker in their step, and they're finding their men with their passes now.
This is a really important phase in the match for Airdrie. They cannot afford to lose another goal before half-time if they're to retain any genuine hopes. And here's a chance on, but Owen Coyle is offside. Took the little layoff there from Lawrence. But the linesman Hugh Dallas below us had the flag up. No argument from Coyle. Well, Rangers appear to be content to leave John Brown on the field for the moment. Paul Rideout has replaced his tracksuit bottoms. And that position will be assessed, I've no doubt, at the interval. The goal, of course, taking some of the pressure off, and Durant's pace forcing Jack to concede the corner. Troubled moments these for Airdrie after an excellent opening half hour. They now face a 1-goal deficit. Spackman back to Durant. Hateley going up for that. That's when he's so dangerous. He's thoroughly frustrated, Mark Hateley. He clearly believed he should have done better in that position. A good angled cross this. Hateley attacking the ball in there, getting up so well. And he clearly feels he should have scored.
Yes, it's a marvellous cross. You can see it all the way. He certainly knows that he should have hit the target with that one, because he's got the ability to do that. But 1 goal in the cup final, he'll be happy for the moment.
A touch on there by Balfa. There's Mikhailchenko. The long pass back will reach Andy Gorham ahead of Alan Lawrence. Hateley's layoff. Here's McCoy's busting away from Kidd. Trying to chip that across towards Ian Durant. Difficult on this surface. It's very true, but the film of grease on the top after all the rain. And Owen Coyle clearly irate about that offside decision. That applies also, I can tell you, to the Airdrie bench. John McVeigh coming off his seat, going somewhat berserk, having to be controlled by Hugh Williamson, the 4th official, down at the tunnel area. O'Brien appears to be running a little more freely now. They have a session of treatment at half-time. Layoff from McCoist. That's McCall. Turned back safely by Chris Honor, doing his marking role on Mikhailchenko. That's proved to be tough this afternoon. John McVeigh still looking very upset and stern there, the assistant manager. That came off Robertson's head. In goes ball towards Spackman. Plenty of time here for Richard Gough. Well, the long cup famine could be over for Rangers. Even Balfa has stemmed that flow of blood from the side of his head. Going deep. Rangers now perfectly happy to stroke the ball around and retain possession. The problems following that Hateley goal are all with Airdrie. So Rangers can have all the patience in the world. Here's Gough. Running the clock back, coming from that right back position. Here's Gary Stevens taking the pass from McCall. Well, the Airdrie defence was undoubtedly opened up completely there by the run made by Gary Stevens and the excellent pass from Stuart McCall. And it's turned away there for the corner. Well, Jack marshalling his defence again. Durant sending it across. Off goes Brown. There's McCoist. Well, a complete miscue there by Ali McCoist. He'll be very disappointed with that. It was a good opening by his standards. You'll see the ball breaks here from John Brown. There's time, there's space, but it was rather mulled there by Ali McCoist.
It's a little touch on from John Brown, and it's a good chance. And you would think a goal scorer like Ali might have hit the target there with a bit more power.
There's good running to the right by Hateley. He's away from Caesar. They're queuing in the middle of the Rangers, and it's too close to Martin. McCall was waiting, so was McCoist. Well, Mark Hateley again proving so troublesome to the Airdrie defence, so strong here, shrugging off the challenge from Caesar, and the cross, a disappointing one in the end. It's headed away there by Brown for an Airdrie throw. The scoreline tells the story. Mark Hateley getting the goal on the half-hour mark. Too far ahead there of Alan Lawrence, the ball skidding away off the surface. So it's a very difficult task Alan Lawrence faces this afternoon, trying to occupy Richard Gough and John Brown all by himself through the middle. Here they may think about changing that in the second half with this remain behind. A bit of rainfall now at Hampden. We've had all the seasons really in the one day so far. McCall holding up Boyle. There's Haitley. Played long by Boyle, and Lawrence is caught offside. Running off his marker too early there. Goff and Brown very confident to hold the line in defence. Brown playing that forward, and Robertson denied the chance of reaching it by the presence of the sweeper Paul Jack for Airdrie. Back goes Goff to collect for Rangers again. Well, with the score 1-0 to Rangers, this kind of possession poses no problems for Rangers. Just 5 minutes remaining in the first half, and a very important 5-minute period. A goal at either end in that phase of the game could have such a bearing on the outcome. Good free kick taken by McCoist. He's frustrated though by the fact that it was taken from a position about 5 yards away from the incident. Taken quickly again. Robertson's cross, up goes McCoist. The offside flag is up. It may have been McCoist, it may have been Haitley. Either way, it's a free kick to Airdrie.
It's a real testing time for Airdrie now, because just when they looked as though they had conquered Rangers, got them wondering what to do, they lost a goal. Rangers look much quicker, much sharper, much more confident now. Chances are coming to them. Airdrie's really got to dig in there, hold on until half-time, see what inspiration they can derive from half-time talk about Alan McDonald, and hopefully make a game of it in the second half.
Kirkwood again doing a good job in the air, getting in front of David Robertson to head flick that on. The unlucky Airdrie player who stumbled at the wrong moment and allowed Robertson to set up the opening goal for Haitley. That's in behind Walter Kidd. Haitley goes across, followed by Caesar. Haitley attempting the cross, he has down the corner. Well, he's more than just the big target man, Mark Haitley. Has a fair amount of skill on the ground, and he's very quick indeed. The Rangers supporters out to enjoy the occasion. They're in by Durant. Up goes Haitley, pressurised by Evan Balfour, and it was Haitley's header that sent the ball behind. It's a goal kick to Airdrie. Well, Haitley is the principal danger at the moment to the Airdrie defence, Billy.
Yes, he lost his marker to score the goal, which would obviously boost his confidence somewhat. And he certainly has over the early part of the game. He's meeting the ball well in the air, and when he starts to win those balls that are provided into him, he'll make opportunities for Alan McCoist. But over the piece, Rangers now look about a yard quicker than they did at the start of the game.
Frustration again for Alan Lawrence, who's been flagged offside once again. So Rangers playing with that flat back four, coming to no grief as yet. Squally shower here at Hampden, as that ball is off the head of Haitley, says the referee. It's a goal kick to Airdrie. So the aerial shot of Hampden, 45,000 only inside the stadium. That's the capacity with the refurbishment going on. It's helped on by Balfour, then by Coyle. There's Mikhalichenko. In goes Balfour again. Coyle. Brown underneath that. He was definitely bumped well the ball's in the air by Lawrence. The referee spotted that. And the sun has returned after that very brief shower of rain. Just adding to the difficulties on the surface. A little bit of extra grease on the top now. Goff coming to meet that bravely. There's Gus Caesar. Robertson takes over, allows Brown to have a breather. So it's back with Andy Gorham, and Rangers appear to be content with what they have in the first half. What they have is the only goal so far. Up goes Spackman. David Robertson lashing the ball high through the middle. It's troublesome for Paul Jack. Boyle there with McCall. Good play by McCall. Unlucky with the pass wide for Stevens. Both former Everton players. Stevens with a captain's medal for Everton, and McCall with a loser's medal, despite scoring twice against Liverpool 3 years ago. So in the final minute of the first half, Rangers leading by 1-0. And Airdrie content, I reckon, to go in at half-time, trailing by that solitary goal. Any real prospect of coming back from losing another, I reckon, so they've dug in again defensively. And that will allow Alec MacDonald to sort things out at half-time to see if tactics should be altered for a second-half comeback. So we're now going into time added on for injuries in the first half. There was a little bit of that early on. A couple of head knocks. Kevin Balfour requiring to leave the field for a plaster and a cut on the side of the head. David Kirkwood also needed some treatment, so there may be a minute or so to go. Hateley and Caesar couldn't get to that. McCall sets up McCoist. That's a good effort by McCoist! And deadly finishing pays off once again for Rangers. Right on the half-time whistle, that may well be the killer goal in the final. And the quality of the pass should be savoured also when we see the replay of this goal. McCoy is getting his 39th goal of the season. The clearance from the other defence, indecisive. Two players getting each other away. But look at this ball, played quickly by McCall into space from McCoy on his left foot, and Martin hadn't a hope. What an excellent goal.
It's a good strike by Alan McCoy, but Airdrie made a real mistake there. Indecisive in defence, and they paid the full penalty. It's my feeling that the cup is only going to go one place now.
So McCoy comes off. The half-time whistle has gone. Mark Hateley broke the deadlock in half an hour as he took the pass from David Robertson to open the scoring for Rangers after what had been an excellent opening half hour for Airdrie. But that all changed when Rangers took the lead after half an hour. This pass from Spackman. Kirkwood slipped, Robertson chested the ball down, Hateley lost his marker, and that turned the game Rangers' way. From that point on, Airdrie seemed to be determined to hang on to a 1-goal deficit, but Ali McCoy had other ideas with an excellent goal, which may well turn out to be the one which puts the match beyond Airdrie. So at half-time, it's Rangers in the driving seat. It's Airdrie 0, Rangers 2.
Well, if Airdrie were long odds against before the start of this final, the odds must be even longer now with that half-time lead for Rangers. A very comfortable lead, but Derek, one would have to say there was a spell when it didn't look as if Rangers would take the lead at all.
I think Airdrie started the game very well, Dougie. They were determined not to give Rangers anything for the first 15-20 minutes, and that's the way it worked out. They blocked out Hateley and McCoy, made Rangers play the long ball all the time. I think Rangers' problem is they're not getting anybody wide. Gary Stevens and David Robertson haven't really got down there enough to get cross balls into the middle. Airdrie were doing well, and really the sucker punch here with Mark Hateley, a little slip, 1-0, and I don't think Rangers have a look back since.
Well, Airdrie must have been pleased at how much pressure they were able to put the Rangers defence under at the early stage of the game.
That's right, the game didn't start with Rangers onslaught and Airdrie defending. I felt Rangers started very nervously, and Airdrie, they probably made the better chances, and probably against the run of play slightly at the time, the Rangers scored, but since then it's been, I think, one-way traffic.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the goal which puts Rangers into the lead then, as Murdo says. It came pretty well against the run of play at that stage, but a very nice ball in from David Robertson after the cross from Spackman, obviously, or the crossfield ball. And a very simple goal in the end, Murdo.
Yes, it was great running by Mark Hateley. He came from the middle of the goal, he's got to the front post. Yeah, it's an easy chance in the end up. And that's the type of goals he's been scoring all season. He's always there or thereabouts.
He's just lost his marker, and it was easy from there. Lovely ball this from Nigel Spackman, though, Derek.
It is, and it's his so-called wrong foot, the left one. Davy Kirkwood would be a bit disappointed there. It wasn't the greatest ball out. It went through the legs of Jack there, but Hateley, always good strikers. There was one at the back post, one at the near post. He got there and stuck it in the net. Great run to the near post to lose his man out. And as easy as you like, John Martin anticipating that he was going to miss the ball, but Haley certainly doesn't miss from there.
Yeah. I think the first goal, were Rangers to score it, was always going to be fairly decisive. You could never see Airdrie coming back if they went behind, really. But from that point on, they fought hard, but they haven't really looked as if they're going to come back into the game, have they?
They had the one-half chance when Alan Lawrence went through and hit it wide, and Rangers have been caught square a couple of times at the back. I think Alex McDonald would see that at half-time. Let's get the long ball over the top, because with his pace, anything can happen. They're certainly now out the game at 2-0. It's obviously very difficult for Airdrie. You've got to fancy Rangers strongly, but the heads have got to stay up. If the heads go down for Airdrie, this could be 4 or 5-0 easy.
Yeah, do you see it that way, Murdo?
Yeah, I think Airdrie had to score first today. We were sitting here after half an hour and we said it would not be surprised if Airdrie scored.
Yes.
But Rangers, as we said, would not be part and scored, and I think there's no way back.
Yeah.
And the killer blow was just there with Ali.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at it. It came just as the semi-final goal against Celtic did, immediately before half-time, which, as everyone knows, is just the killer time. And maybe John Martin a bit unlucky because it bounced right in front of him, which makes it very hard for a keeper to do anything about.
But it's a good shot, Dougie. It's like when you're heading a ball, you always head the ball down into net. It's always difficult for a keeper. But John's been saving that sort of ball all season. He's got to save this one for the final. It's just bobbled up over his hands. But it's a great strike by McCoy. We haven't really seen much of him in the first half. He's been played out the game, but they are just a second. Great ball by McCall in the first place. Loses his marker for a second, and there it is. The ball's in the back of the net.
Striker's instinct, Murdo, because it's tempting to take another touch there if you're the striker, but
That's right.
you hit it first time.
The way Ali's been playing all season, he hits everything and it ends up in the back of the net. But I'm quite a wee bit surprised with their defence. I think the two of them, McCoy and Haitley, have both managed to get away from the markers quite easily. That's not happened to Airdrie all season.
Is that maybe Jimmy Sanderson's absence?
I think they miss the influence of him at the back.
Yes.
No matter who comes in, Jimmy Sanderson's been playing that position all season, playing it very well, and I think today they do miss him.
That's right, he's the organiser at the back, really.
That's right, and he calms everything down, he gets organises, he gets defenders tightly to the strikers, and I think today they've maybe stood off him 2 yards and they've been punished for it.
Maybe Walter Smith might be thinking at half-time, all right then, we haven't played that well in the first half, we've got a 2-goal lead, let's go to town in the second half. Do you see it that way?
Well, I think they'll be more relaxed, Rangers, now that they've got the 2 goals behind them. But I think they'll be thinking to themselves, there's no way Airdrie is going to score 3 goals. I would like to think they'll get wide and get more balls into the box for the likes of Haitley, because at first Gus Caesar played him very well the first 10-15 minutes, then he got the better of him. If we're going to see goals, then I think Haitley's going to score them.
OK, well, we'll be back for the second half live here at Hampden, of course, but now let's turn our attention to the FA Cup final at Wembley. And Ronnie Moran, in fact, leading out the Liverpool team. Graham Souness, as you can see, was there. He did make it, but he didn't lead out the side. He left that to Ronnie Moran. Let's see the highlights of the first half. John Motson and Trevor Brooking.
Mulby, Nicol. Swung wide by Mulby, beautifully to Ray Houghton, number 8. Michael Thomas, a forward running space. Michael Thomas shoots, holds his head for skying it, but Tony Norman was very quick to his feet.
Typical Liverpool move, was it? Ray Houghton comes inside on his right foot so well, just flicks it with the outside of his foot. Thomas making that deep run and tries to lift it over Norman because he's so close to him.
David Rush. Davenport, Gary Hours sprinting up on the right-hand side. They've got 2 in there. This is Hours. He found the position superbly.
Well, he got great lungs. He gets up and down the pitch, whether midfield or fullback. Superb ball by Davenport. Now, he's got so much time. If he just looked up beyond it, look at the far post there, Armstrong. I mean, that was a nothing ball. It wasn't a cross or a shot.
Well, that was an interception by Gordon Armstrong from Rob Jones. Davenport's on the far side. This is Byrne. Davenport making a run now. Byrne plays it wide again. Armstrong wasn't quite ready for it. Byrne remonstrates with Armstrong for that. This is Rogan now. Davenport holds it up well usually. Rogan. Oh, a skidder. Bruce Grobbelaar from Anton Rogan. And Grobbelaar may have collided with the post.
Yeah, he's just hit the back of his head there. Got a lovely left foot, Rogan. This one just bounces nastily, and you can see the thud there. That's a nasty whack. mentioned that Bruce Grobbelaar was a bit nervous beforehand. I mean, it's an important game for Liverpool, but particularly for Bruce Grobbelaar as well, because there has been questions about whether they're looking at a goalkeeper, and he knows he needs an important game like this, a big match.
Short to Byrne. It's Kevin Ball at the back there. Byrne! Oh, he was onside, and what a good chance for the man. Liverpool was sleeping a bit, weren't they?
Well, it was a half clearance that everyone challenges, and a great header comes back across, and normally John Byrne would compose himself.
So there we are, goalless at half-time at Wembley. Hard to tell from brief highlights, Murdo, but Sunderland look to be giving as good as they're getting anyway, don't they?
That's right, that was a great chance at the end there. Again, it's been balanced the whole time, and Liverpool could be caught square at the back.
That's right. Nasty injury for Bruce Grobbelaar though, Derek. He took quite a sore one against the post, didn't he?
And what it was, he tried to make the most of it, didn't he? And his shoulder hit the post, but he was up a couple of minutes later and rearing to go. But it's like everything else, Dougie, a game like that, the longer it goes on, as Murdo was saying earlier, the more chance you've got of a shot.
That's right, and we've seen so many of them in the FA Cup final over the years, of course. That too, of course, will go to extra time and penalties if required. Let me remind you once again that we are running the Man of the Match competition to win a trip to Sweden for the Scotland-Holland game in Gothenburg. The number to dial, 0891 88 1991. You've seen 45 minutes of football. Who do you think might be the man of the match? The sponsor's man of the match, which will be announced, obviously, at the final whistle.